All right, guys. Here's the video you guys have been waiting for, or I've been waiting for, or whoever wants to make tamales. But look at this. This is what they came out looking like. Let me break it up right here so you guys can see. Pretty close to mom's, guys. Video's kind of long, but if you really want to know how to make authentic Mexican tamales, this is the recipe for you. Bear with it, watch it. If you want to skip through the parts where I'm showing how to wrap the tamales, but you start you from the beginning all the way to the end, guys. This is the real video right here. So if you guys want to know how to make tamales, look at that. The masa's delicious. The meat's delicious. Trust me, you guys want to watch this video. If you guys haven't subscribed, make sure you guys subscribe. Smash that thumbs up. Give us a like. If you have any questions about the recipe, drop them below. Me and Lisa Marie, we answer everybody. That being said, here's the video. First step when you're making tamales, guys, you have to have a good piece of meat, guys, right here. Boston butt. This is about 12 pounds. That's gonna make quite a few dozen tamales. First step. To prep the meat for the tamales, you're gonna have to remove all this excessive fat right here. So what I'm doing is I'm just gonna trim it all off and then get it prepared so that when we put it to cook, there'll be no fat in it. You're gonna put your 2 roasts into the pan. We're gonna add 1 whole onion and 5 garlic. Put it to boil, guys. I want to kind of show you guys too how I trimmed the roast. Remember I showed you the roast before had all that big layer of fat. Take off all the fat. Don't take it all off completely, but most of it. And you're just gonna add the onion and the 5 garlic. Make sure you guys add 2 bay leaves also, guys. All right, now we just put it to cook. Probably about 1 or 2 hours. The meat's all tender, start shredding, we'll be ready. This is a chile guajillo, guys. This is the way it comes right here. This is about 1.5 pounds I'm using for this recipe. When you take it out, you're gonna take the stems off and you're just gonna put the chile by itself in there. It's okay to put the seeds, don't worry about the seeds. It has a shitload of seeds. But just take out the stem. Don't put the stem in there because if not, your chile is gonna come out sour. So make sure you take the stems out. Alright, I cleaned all my chili pods, took off all the stems. All I have is the pods now. Now we're just going to fill it up with water and we're going to put it to boil, guys. It's this simple to make the chile. Of course, it's not the only ingredient here, guys. This is going to only be the first part. We're just going to boil it. We're not going to put nothing in it, just add water. We're going to put them to boil for about an hour until they get really soft. You'll see they're really soft and then we'll move on to the next step. Something I forgot to add to mention to you guys, a chile guajillo like this, guys. If you guys are in the Midwest or somewhere other than, you know, the southern states or the West Coast states, they probably be hard to find this type of chile. They usually sell them in packages already, like half-pound packages. You'll probably need about 3 of those packages to make this much. But just giving you a heads up on that. You can also use Mexico chili, New Mexico. They have other types of chili. It just depends on what you have available. Just keep in mind some of those other chiles, the hotness level might be different. So this is a good hotness level. The chile guajillo is a good hotness level that it will not irritate you in case you don't like too much spice. Okay, so we got our meat going right here. Super easy, guys. Remember, onion, garlic, bay leaf, or pork. And over here we got the chili pods going, guys. Remember, when you make tamales, tamales is a 2-day process, guys. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna make the meat, make the chile, combine them, make the red meat for our tamales, and then tomorrow I'm gonna show you guys how I prepare the masa, and then we're gonna put some tamales together, and then we'll see how it comes out. So far, so good. All right, guys, time to add some salt. I'm basically adding a palm full of salt. You could call it 2 tablespoons, I guess. We're just gonna mix it up in there and just so it gives the meat a little bit of flavor. Also want to kind of give you guys a reminder, guys, that remember the stock from this soup right here, the stock from this soup is what we're gonna use for our masa. So keep that in mind. We're gonna pull that out later. We're gonna strain all the excessive stuff out of it. Keep the juice, and the juice we're gonna use tomorrow for our masa. All right, guys, we're about an hour in. You can see the meat starting to take color now. Probably got about another hour to go on the meat, and then you'll see it'll just shred apart. And then over here we have the chilies still going, guys. Word of the wise: when you make your chilies, don't overfill your pot with too much water, because when it starts boiling, it's gonna boil off the sides, and you don't want that mess. This stuff right here, this red chili, it can make a mess, so just be careful with that. You don't want your wives getting yelled at. You don't want your wife yelling at you. So here we are with the meat. It's looking pretty good. So for another hour, we'll turn it off and we'll let it sit, cool down, shred the meat, and then we'll start the chile. All right, guys, we are 1.5 hours in. I am turning off the chiles. The chiles are done. See how I could tell they're done because they're very moist. See how that's perfect. That's what you want right there. So I turned it off now. Just gonna let it sit for about an hour or two, let it cool down before we actually make the chile. Over here, the meat, you can tell it's already starting to take color. It's looking really good. This probably needs about another hour. Still feels kind of hard. When the meat starts getting soft, then you know it's done. All right, guys, we're buying some of the ingredients for these tamales right here. And like you can see right here, this is a Mexican bakery, Mexican restaurant, Superior. We sell masa right here already prepared, guys. This is what you want right here. It's an 8-pound bag, so I'm gonna get 3 bags of these. So we got about 25 pounds of masa. Remember earlier I was telling you guys that they sell them in bags? Well, this is the kind of bag that they sell in them. Something similar to this, or most Mexican restaurants will have them like this by the pound, and you get more for your money. You get $5 a pound, $4.49 a pound, where the other way you're gonna get half a pound for $5. That's why I buy them loose like this. Chile guajillo. Also, right here is where you're gonna get your hojas. You get for your tamales. So you want to pick a good one. Like this one looks good right here. Take one of these two. I'm also gonna need a steamer pot because this is my first time making them, guys. So they have different size steamer pots. You're gonna need a steamer. The reason why you need a steamer is because these are cooked in steam. So it has that apparatus down there that holds up your tamales so they don't get wet. You fill it up with water up to here and it steams them all up. So I think I'm gonna get the 24 quart. They have 4 different sizes: 20, 24, 32, and 52. But I don't think we need that big. I think we're just gonna get the 24 quart right here. I think this will be the right size for us. Another ingredient you're gonna need for your tamales is you're gonna need lard, guys. You have to add lard to your masa. So I'm gonna buy this pack right here, and I think that should be more than enough. They have different kinds, but you're gonna melt this down. Melt it down, you're gonna add it to the masa. Now, guys, if you guys don't have masa available wherever you live, you can order this from Amazon and have it delivered to you, and all you do is add water and it turns it into masa, guys. It's that simple. It's just basically it's powdered up of the masa. So this market right here makes that masa out of that stuff right there. They just make it for you. So if you can make it yourself, you don't have a market to buy it already made, you could have it bought in powdered form. Yeah, so if you don't have masa available wherever you live, you can buy it in big giant bags. Look at that. You can make so much masa out of that right there, guys, and it's a lot cheaper than buying it made. You're also going to need some baking powder for your masa as well. Now I'm giving you all the ingredients, guys, but sometimes you can substitute some of the ingredients. For instance, if you don't want to use lard, you could probably use cooking oil, vegetable oil. You know, we just use lard because that's the Mexican way, and I'm trying to keep them as traditional as possible. But so that's pretty much the stuff that we have right here. We'll review it afterwards, okay? I'll make you guys a list also. Okay guys, this is a recap of the ingredients you're going to need for tomorrow. Just remember, today we're not rolling tamales. The tamales we're rolling them tomorrow. We're only making the chile today. So we ended up getting some lard for the masa. We got the masa. This is about 25 pounds of masa, 24 pounds. And we got baking powder. And we're going to use the broth from the soup also for the tamales. And then we got the corn husk. So that's all for tomorrow. We're going to put that away. And right now we're going to continue with our making our chile and the carne. Let me show you how the meat's looking. Meat's already done. So we're going to take those out, put those in a tray. And then we have to shred that. We're going to save the juice. Remember, that's the most important thing. Over here we have the chilies. We got to blend those up and strain them. So that's going to be, that's kind of the mission in the whole deal, is making the chile, because it's pretty messy. But I'm going to try to do my best not to be messy. Okay guys, I took my meat out. This is how much I got out of the, damn, it's a 10 pound roast, guys. And so this is our broth. Still a little bit warm, so I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit more before we do that. But we're gonna start over here on the salsa. Okay, so we have our chile guajillo, we have cumin seeds, and black pepper, whole black pepper. We're gonna put a teaspoon of each, and we're gonna add 3 garlics to each cafe of chile. Plus, we're gonna have to add water to it too, okay? So we're gonna add water to it. So this first thing we're gonna do is just put our chili pods in there. Okay, I got my water in there, I got my pods in there. I'm about to add my cumin. And remember what I said, guys. Mom doesn't really measure. She doesn't measure. She just pours it in there. So I think I'm just gonna do the same thing. She poured in about a tablespoon. Some black pepper. And then we're gonna add 3 garlic heads. There it is. I'm gonna put my top on it, blend it up. Once you blend it up, all you're gonna do is strain it, run it through your strainer, get all the pulp out of it. All right. This is what we came out with, guys. So now we're just gonna pour that in through our strainer, take all the pulp, seeds, everything through. The only thing that goes through is the juice. This is a part you don't want to make a big mess, guys, because that chile makes a mess. So now we're just gonna let it go through. Mom said just don't let gravity do it, but shake it. And then right now, you're gonna have to stick your hand in there and just push it through. Push all the juice through. That way you keep all the pulp. Everything else is gonna stay behind. Now we're gonna go through the same process all over again. Fill this up with some more chili pods, put more cumin, black pepper, garlic, and then we're gonna strain it again until we're done with all these chili peppers. All right, so let me do that real quick. I'll show you through the steps one more time. Chili pods. Then we're gonna add water, because water is what's gonna get the chili in there, guys. This back over here. Make sure you've got a good cup and a half. Add black pepper. Not too much. Cumin. 3 to 4 garlics. One thing I want to point out, guys, is that when your pulp gets like this, don't just throw it away. You get a spoon and smash it against the sides. And what that does is that brings out more juice. Trust me, there's still juice in there. Even if you wiggle it right now, you can see it's still dripping out. There's plenty of juice in there. You just got to smash it. Mom gets her hands in there and she kneads it in with her hands. But I don't want to do that because I don't want to make that much of a mess. So I'm just using a spoon and I'm pushing it against the sides. All right, this is the final one right here. It was exactly 3 of these carats of chile. So now it's like, see the mess that it makes? Those little splashes. That's the most irritating part about doing this process. And for those of you guys that are asked or want to know, this is the same process to make chile for pozole, menudo, enchiladas. Minus, except for the menudo and that, I would minus the black pepper and the cumin, but everything else is the same process. All right, this is how much we came out of chili right here. It's a pretty good amount right there, guys. Now we're over here. The broth. I already got my strainer cleaned up. I'm gonna run the broth through it. Save the broth for tomorrow for the masa. And the reason why we're doing it in 2 days, guys, if you guys are wondering, is because we need everything to be cooled off. Everything has to be cold when you wrap your tamales. You don't want to wrap your tamales when the meat's warm. That's why you got to make everything the day before. That when you put your tamales together, they're nice and fresh, nice and cold. They're not, none of the meat's warm, and everything's gonna be nice and cool. So let me run this through the strainer right here, and I'll show you guys what's gonna be left at the end. So once you run it through, that's gonna take all the onions, the bay leaf, takes out all the garlic, and all you have left is all that delicious juiciness down there. And that's what we're gonna use for our masa tomorrow. So now we're gonna just let that cool off, and then me and the wife are gonna transfer that to a jar, and we'll have it ready for tomorrow. All right, guys, the next step is to shred this all up. See, so this is nice and tender. Should we shred right up? I'm gonna go ahead and shred it up. I'll show you guys. Basically, you got to do it with your hands, guys. You just got to jump in there and cut it all up, break it up as much as you can, so it's all shredded meat. And that shredded meat we're going to use right now with a salsa that we already made, okay? So, and here's the broth. I already transferred the broth over here to this jar for tomorrow, this container. So tomorrow we're going to use that for the masa. But for now, let me break this up, and then I'll show you guys what's up. All right, guys, this is how the meat came out after I shredded it all up. For those of you that barbecue, you guys ever made pulled pork? Same system, guys. I'm even thinking that pulled pork meat would be delicious in this dish, and I'm gonna have to try that one day. But for now, we're gonna stick to the ancient secret. So we shredded all up our pork right there. We got that much. We have some waste right here. I took out the little ligament parts. I took out the bones. So don't put that in there. All you want is just shredded pork in there. Shredded pork. So let me clean up a little bit and we'll go on to the next step. All right, we're back to our original pan where we started with the meat. So I'm gonna put some oil in there first of all and let it heat up nice and well. Once it heats up, I'm gonna add that meat that we just shredded. And then after that, we're gonna add this chile that we made. So, all right, we're just gonna let this heat up a little bit. And then we're gonna add our chile to it, guys. And if you're wondering how that meat tasted, I'm not even lying, guys. It came out absolutely delicious. Has that right amount of onion, garlic, and salt taste in it. So right now we're I'm gonna let this heat up a little bit. We're gonna let it saute up a little bit, and then once I get it going, I'm gonna add my salsa to it. All right, guys, we have this going pretty good right here. It's starting to sizzle a little bit, so it's time to add the chile now. Be very careful in this part because it's super messy, guys. I want you guys to see them. I try to clean everything up as I go, guys, because if you don't, this meal right here, this food is super, super messy, guys. Let me show you guys how it looks now. Just give it a good mixing first of all. And now we're just gonna let it cook for about an hour. Well, before I let it just cook, I'm gonna add some more, a couple more ingredients to it. And I'll show you guys right now. But this is your salsa for you. This is your red chile tamales right here, pretty much. Let me just add the last couple ingredients and we'll be done. Final 2 ingredients, guys. We're gonna use some condensed caldo de pollo, which is basic chicken bouillon, nor. Guys, if you guys don't have one of these in your kitchen, you're doing yourself a dissatisfaction. Then we're gonna do another palmful of Morton salt, some salt. We're gonna add that right now. So like I said, guys, we're gonna go with 2 heaping tablespoons. 1, 2. And then, like I said, a palmful of salt. Let's mix that all together. And then we're just gonna let it cook for about an hour, guys. Not even gonna lie, guys, it smells exactly like Mom's. So I'm just gonna let this cook for about an hour. We'll come back. We gotta let it cool down. I'm gonna put it back in the pan, put it in the refrigerator, and tomorrow we'll start rolling the tamales. While that's cooking, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prep the manteca for tomorrow also. So the manteca is super simple. All you can do is melt it down. Melt it down, put it in a container, put it in the refrigerator. It'll probably get a little bit hard, but it won't get solid like this. And then that's what you're gonna use tomorrow for your masa. So let me get this inside here and we'll start melting that down. All right, guys, once your manteca melts down, all you do is just let it sit now, guys. Just turn it off. Turn it off, and after that, we're gonna transfer it over here. Put these in the refrigerator. We have our broth from the meat over there, and we have the manteca right here, the lard. And let's see how this is turning out over here, guys. Check this out. Guys, I could tell you right now, it smells very similar to Mom's. Very, very similar. I'm thinking it's coming out just the right way, guys. This is my first time making these tamales, guys, so trust me. I got one instruction from Mom. Plus, I've seen her make these so many times, but I've never gotten the ingredients, never really put it all together myself. This is my very, very first time making them, so. All right, guys, it's already the next morning. We're ready to start rolling. Time to do some prepping before we do that. First things first is we got to get the corn husk all rinsed off. What you do is rinse them all off with water, and then have a tray, and then you want to have them soaking, guys. Corn husks have to be damp when you roll them, guys. You don't want to have your corn husk all dry, because they'll crack and just won't come out proper. Okay. I have another right here for the masa, and check out the meat from yesterday. That's going to be our filler right there. One other thing that I had to tell you guys is, remember how yesterday I told you guys to melt the butter the day before? Well, I melted it, put it in the refrigerator, and it got hard again. Basically, it hardened back up. So this morning when I woke up, what I did is I remelted it just so that it won't be too hot when I start mixing it with the masa. And that's the broth from yesterday too. The white stuff on top, that's probably grease from the meat, guys, so it's okay. That's all deliciousness right there. We're gonna put that in the masa as well. So next step right now is we're gonna start prepping our masa. Once we get our masa ready, that's gonna be the most important part when I show you guys how we do the masa. And then we'll start rolling some tamales, guys. All right, guys, next most important part is doing the masa now. So I'm gonna show you guys how we do the masa. Like I told you guys, I buy the prepared masa. It's expensive, guys. Look at the price. 8 pounds for $1.69 a pound, so it comes out to 13 bucks. So I'm sure that one of those those bags of maseca probably make this much masa. Maybe a little bit less, but those bags are only like 3 something compared to having to pay, what is this, $15 a bag, $13 a bag, 14. So that's 28. That's, you know, it's a lot more money. It's about 40 bucks in just masa alone. You're gonna need some baking powder. And then over here, just to give you guys heads up, these I'm gonna list all this stuff on our thing in there. But I'm gonna get some. You're gonna need some wax paper, and then you're gonna need some spreaders right here. The wax papers, I know a lot of people don't like using wax papers, but that's the way my mom does it. All right, guys, I got the masa right here. Baking powder. We're gonna put 1 tablespoon of baking powder. 1 tablespoon. And then we're gonna start off with the broth first. Broth first, manteca second. And if you're wondering what that white stuff is on top, that's just manteca, guys. It's lard, basically. It's from the soup that released it, put in the juice, and it rises up to the top, and the bottom, basically the broth. So if it's manteca, we're already adding manteca. We're just going to throw that right back in there. So we're going to add that in here first, little by little, mix it up. You're going to mix it up with your hands, guys. You're not going to be using no spoon or nothing. Get your hands dirty in there. Mix it all up. You want to knead it so that it comes out nice and creamy. As you can see right here, this is not creamy. This is not ready to be used. If you make your tamales out of this just alone like that, it's not going to come out right and they're not going to taste very good. So let me start off right here. I'm going to put you guys on the phone stand so that you guys can see me doing this whole process. So first things first, we're going to put a tablespoon of baking powder. Sprinkle it all on. Doesn't matter how. It's going to get all kneaded in there anyway. Put that away. And take off my ring so I'll get it all free. And then we're going to grab a cup of the juice right here. Just grab a cup of it. It's already kind of gelatinous, guys. Doesn't really matter. You can throw it all on there. Already messed up, guys. Try not to make a big mess. That's the #1 rule at my house. And I already did it. Go in there. What's up real quick? Word of advice, guys. Word of advice when you guys do this. Don't try to leave your masa out a little while because the masa is super cold. And I'm telling you guys right now, it's kind of hard to keep your hand in there. But that juice from the broth from the things smells so good, guys. I'm not even making this. Masa smells delicious. I have a feeling that it's going to come out really, really good. It's already starting to feel a little bit creamy. So I think that's good enough for the broth. Now we're just going to add the manteca. Let's get it all in there from the bottom up too. We might have made too much masa, guys. We'll see. Me, myself, guys, I don't know about you guys, but when my mom makes her tamales, she makes them pretty huge, guys. And the reason being is because she uses manteca. She uses a lot of masa on each tamal. So I think it's important. Let me get the... So we have the lard right here. This is the lard. Now we're going to throw some lard in there, all the way across. There's really no right amount or wrong amount, guys. You just don't want to make them too watery. So make sure that when you do your masa is nice and creamy. You want it creamy so that when you start putting it on your tamales, I was almost going to get a 4th bag. Good thing I didn't. Another thing too, guys, to keep in mind that is, say the masa is, if you have extra masa at the end, like you could be creative with this and add different fillers, you know. I'm telling you, we've done it before. My mom makes tamales for my wife that have refried beans. So at the end of this, if we have a lot of masa left over, we could just refry some beans up real quick. And then make our own refried bean tamales, you know? Super simple, super easy. You already have the masa there. Or, like my mom does, is if she has extra masa left over, what she does is she'll put a little bit more. What my mom does is if she has extra masa, she'll just freeze it. You can freeze it, and you can have it for the next time you make tamales. Oh yeah. I can feel the consistency now. It's starting to feel very... Just turn it over and knead it in. It's not clumpy no more now. It's nice and smooth. It comes right through your hands. See how it comes right through your hands? That's your test right there. When you go like this and it comes right through your fingers, then you know it's good. I'm trying to only use one hand, but it's hard. I think that's it, guys. I think we're ready. See how it comes right out? It's nice and creamy. That's what you want. We didn't have to use all the masa, all the manteca. We didn't have to use all the juice, but we used enough of it on there that you could smell it and you could taste. You could almost taste it, not taste it, but you could taste it and smell it. And smells just like the broth from the carne. So there we are. I think we're ready to start up. Our masa looks good. Let me just clean up and we'll get started. We are ready to start rolling, guys. Start rolling up these tamales. Masa's ready. We have the corn husk right here. I have my little pala right here to put the cream on. And then we have our salsa right here. So I don't know how many tamales we're going to be able to make with that, but we're going to count them out and see how much it is. This was a 12-pound roast to start off with right now. So right here, I say it's, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how many we get. I know I got way too much masa, so we'll see. We're going to have to make something else with that for sure. Find another filler for there, and then we'll make some, I think we'll make some bean and cheese ones so I can show you guys. But this is looking really, really good. Let's just get started with this process, and we'll see what happens. We're gonna get the corn husk, okay? Gonna get a nice glob of masa on there. Now some people use a spoon. I'm gonna try using this because this is what my mom chooses and she told me this is the best, easiest way. You wanna get masa evenly put on both sides, guys, all the way across. So you want to have it on the edges especially, all the way to the front. You don't want too much at the bottom. See how right here it doesn't have too much right there? That's your flap. I don't know about you guys, but the flap is the best part of the tamal, guys. So you want to have enough masa on the flap. Put a little bit. Use this thing again. Ooh, mom makes it look so easy. Think that looks good? Oh, forgot a spoon for this. Want to get your meat. Your meat wants, you want to put your meat right in the middle. Like that. Flap it over. And then that's your flap right there. Flap it over this way. And you're going to fold it up. And there's your first tamale. Put a little tip on top like that. Then I'm going to grab my wax paper. And I'm just going to roll it up. Roll it up. Tuck it. And tuck it. And there's my first tamale. I'm not going to lie, guys. This is my first tamale ever. So now I got a tray over here. And I'm just going to start stacking them. Now this is going to be my tricky part, guys. Keeping this clean right here. I can tell already. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use a cutting board better. Hold on. Alright, I got a cutting board better. Let's try another one. Tamale number 2. That one came out kind of big, actually. So we got our husk right there. I'm going to be generous with the masa because there's so much masa. Mom makes that look really easy. I don't know how she does it. Piece of meat in the middle. Put a little bit more. Piece in the middle, and right there. Let's clean this up a little bit right here in the back. One flap, 2 flaps. And we're gonna fold up. Get your wax paper right on the corner. Some of you guys might be asking why I'm using wax paper, guys. The reason why we use wax paper is because just in case you don't eat these tamales today. If you don't eat them today, you can freeze them. You can freeze them, make them, freeze them, and then on Christmas Day or whenever you're gonna cook them, then you just bring them out and you cook them. So look at that, that's a big fat tamale right there. Probably making them too big. Oh yeah, this is one easier. I'm using the other thing. Do another one? That's an ugly corn husk. You want to get the good, nice corn husk, guys. See, this one's a little too long, so take out a little piece of it. Right there. That one came out good. Piece of meat in the middle. Flap 1, flap 2. Bring up the bottom. Make sure you fold it up properly, guys. When you put them in the paper, make sure you roll them up nice and tight. And what we do is, like, if you're not going to make all these tamales, you can put them in 6-packs, tie them up in Ziplocs, and put them in the freezer, guys. And then every time you need a tamale, you can bust it out. Make sure you put it on the edges. See the edges right here? I really don't have enough masa right there. There we go. Piece of meat, flap, flap. I want to probably cut too small. You're gonna learn as you go, guys. Trust me, I ain't no tamale expert. But the reason why I want to know this recipe is because this is something that's handed down for generation and generation. And here I am documenting it for the first time ever. You know? Make sure your tamale side has a lot of masa, guys. Your flap. Alright guys, I'm not gonna lie, this is a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. Only because I don't know how to do this, you know, but trial and error, putting my masa down. This thing works really good, guys. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's like a little ledge here and a little ledge on the other side. The reason being is because that's the layer of masa that you're gonna put in. So if you're gonna use one of these paddles, the best way to do is to go around one side and around the other side. So you're gonna go like that, and you're gonna come around this way. And then you're gonna go right down the middle. And that lays out a nice little layer of masa. The only thing I could see is sometimes you gotta put a little bit extra on the corners right here on the sides. Because that's super important. That's your masa flap. So you want your masa flap. And up here you don't want too much masa, so you want to clean that off. One thing I'm noticing about my tamales compared to my mom's is that mine are coming out all different sizes. My mom's tamales all look exactly the same, you know? But I'm sure that's something that will come with trial and error, knowing how to do this, doing it more. Like I said, this is my first time ever rolling tamales by myself, especially. I mean, I've done some Happy Mom out, but never on my own like this. This is my very first time. So you get your thing, put it in the middle, good tablespoon. Then you grab your they call it a paddle. You get your paddle and you move it this way. See, you got that side, and now I'm gonna go to the other side, and then go right down the middle, and that leaves a nice layer of masa. Then you put your meat right in the middle. This is why it's kind of important to do this when everything's cold, guys. See, right in the middle, one flap, two flaps. And then you're just gonna fold up the bottom. I like using the wax paper, guys, because for one, it keeps your tamales together. I see people making them and they just throw them in the pot sideways and stuff like that. If you don't put them together, and when you put them they're not gonna work, guys. They're gonna and end up breaking apart when you're inside your thing. When inside your pot. Trick I want to point out to you guys too is that say you're see like this piece right here, that's too small for a tamale, guys. So you're gonna lay it down, get another piece kind of the same size, and lay it side by side. See that? And you can make a bigger corn husk. And then put your filler right there, your masa. The easiest way to use this paddle, guys, is just go from one side to the other side. And then go right down the middle. And if you keep your paddle level, you'll get a nice level amount of masa. See how right there I missed it? That's no good. You don't want to have that. I'll put a little bit right there, and you just use my paddle again. There you go. And then you got to clean up the bottom right here. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I never knew how time consuming and how hard this is. My poor mom. You don't understand, guys. My mom, like I was telling you guys the other day on the last video, Mom used to make tamales for the barbershop, and we used to sell them out of the barbershop for like the last 10 years. Every Christmas. You know, not just Christmas. We're like starting like right now. At this time, she'd already have tamales, and every Saturday I have tamales. $35 a dozen. And I'm not even lying, guys. They sell out every single time. Mom's tamales are super good. But she used to make some big ass tamales. I used to always tell her, like, man, Mom, you're going to lose money making tamales that big. You know, it's not even worth you making tamales. But that's probably why people love them so much, you know. Go to one side and then go to the other side. And then go right down the middle. This thing's pretty good. It gives you a nice layer of masa. Flop, flop. It's getting easier as you go, guys. First time, it's weird. The only thing I'm kind of worried about is if I'm putting enough masa, because there's so much masa left over right now. I'm almost out of meat, and there's probably half the masa left over, so I don't know if I'm putting up enough masa. I'm hoping I did. But like I said, guys, this is my first time making them too. Don't think I'm a tamale expert. I'm just good at following directions from Mom. Mom has her little ways of doing things, and you know, over the years when I wanted to learn how to make something, some more food, she showed me and I just duplicated it. And what I do is I make these videos just to save them, you know. Later on, when I want to make these tamales again next year or something, and I can't remember exactly what she had told me, I could go back to this video and look at it as a reference point. And I have a lot of videos, guys. If you guys are interested in food videos, I mean, I've already made pozole, I've made menudo, I've made carne. Oh, see, you can't do that. You gotta keep them together, guys. I've made carne con chile. I've made everything that's possible for videos already. But this is the golden ticket right here, guys. I'm not even lying. This is the one I've been wanting to learn for the longest. Why? Because, you know, if you're Mexican, you already know that. This is a Mexican tradition every single Christmas, guys. Every single Christmas. If you're not making tamales, then I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're unwrapping, you know what I mean? It used to be a joke. They used to say, why do Mexicans eat tamales every single Christmas? Why? So we have something to unwrap. Guys, this is where we're sitting at. This is how much masa I have left over. I probably have about a third of what I started with. I still have some meat left. I ran out of corn husk. But so far, I come up with 60 tamales on this. 60 tamales, that's 5 dozens. So it's not too bad. Not too bad. Right now I'm gonna put them to cook so that we could try them out for you guys. But as soon as I put them to cook, I'm gonna run down to the store and buy some more corn husk. And then I think I'm gonna refry some beans, guys, and make some bean ones with the extra masa. That way the masa doesn't go to waste. But I think I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna rinse this off, set it all up, put it to fire it up, fill it up with some tamales, and then we'll go from there. See where we're at. Okay, what I want to point out, guys, is when you fill up your tamale pot, see how there's this line right here? That's as high as you want to fill the water up. All right, guys. You don't want your tamales underwater, so you want to put them. You want to fill it up right before it hits that line. That way, when you put your tamale holder in there, it's not gonna be touching the water. Okay, so just keep that in mind for when you guys fill up your water. All right, guys, filled up my tamalera. You can see right here. Let me stretch you guys out. Filled it all up. Stack them. Face up. Don't lay them down. Put your cover on there. And over here, I got some beans going, guys. I'm gonna refry some beans, and then we're gonna make some out of whatever left over of this masa, because there's plenty of masa there still. So hopefully I didn't make too many beans, but it'll be good. Got my beans going already. The reason why I'm making my beans now, I'm gonna make them so that way when I come back, it'll be cool enough for me to wrap. I'm gonna add a little bit of cheese on here. Plus, you know what I'm gonna do right now, guys? I'm gonna buy a block of cheese, and in each tamale, I'm gonna put a little bit of cheese in it. That's how Mom makes them. But I'm gonna put some grated cheese in here a little bit. And there we go. Okay, right now they've been cooking about 40 minutes, guys. And let's take a little peek. Oh yeah, they're steaming. They're looking good. The beans over here, got them all ready. Hopefully they cool down enough. We're gonna finish rolling these ones. The rest of the meat that we have right here. And then for the bean ones, I bought a little block of cheese. So I'm gonna cut up into little pieces. So every one that I make, I'm gonna put a little piece of cheese in there. And yes, those are bomb, guys. Trust me when I tell you. But first of all, I got some more the corn husk. I don't know why I thought one bag was gonna be enough. I don't know. To me, it looked like there was a lot of corn husk in there, but apparently there's probably about 6 dozen in there. That's what it comes out to be. So depending on how many tamales you're gonna make, and this is a 1 pound bag. So right now I'm gonna rinse these out. You rinse them because some of the corn husks, I didn't show you guys last time. Some of the corn husks have like hairs on them, and it's from the actual corn. So it's better to rinse them off, and then I put them in this pan over here so that they soak up before I do them all up. But these should be moist when you roll your tamales. Guys, I just want to show you guys remember how I did the first tamale and I was struggling? Well, now I got a little system down. So don't get discouraged for making these tamales and you feel like, damn, it's gonna take me forever, whatever. It's not. As you go, you're gonna pick up a system. Like I already got it down. Look at this. Put my thing down. Some masa. Put a little bit more on that side. And then with this spreader, I already got it down. Look at this. It's just one this way, one that way, and then one down the middle. And it comes out nice and even. And then all I worry about now is up here. So you don't want it too high up here. So you just scoop this off. Scoop it off like that. And now you got 2 even flaps. Come back with my meat. 1 fold. And then you got a nice masa flap that you're going to get on that tamale. Fold it up. Got my paper. Remember how the first ones I was struggling with? After you roll 70 of them, you get faster. I got about maybe 3 more of these red ones. And then I'm gonna make the cheese ones, the bean and cheese. Since I have so much masa left over, I refried some beans like I told you. Got a little block of cheese, and I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna make those. I'll be back. All right, guys. We're right here now. We're gonna start on the bean ones, guys. This is because I have leftover masa. I don't want to throw it away. I don't want it to go to waste. So I made some refried beans. And for those of you guys that think like refried beans, exactly. I used to eat the same thing until one time my jefa made them, and Damn. They're a hit, guys. They're a hit. Put beans right in the middle. Good amount. Then you put a little piece of cheese. Cover it over that way. Get a nice fold down here. And boom. Do the wrap. That's pretty meaty. Let me do another one for you. You guys probably didn't see the beans. I'll show it to you. That way I can show you. I feel like a sous chef already, man. Sous chef. A good thing. Like that, man. This oha might have been too big. Yeah, it is. Take a look at this. There you go. That's better. Remember your flaps? You want your flaps to have masa, guys. That's the most important part. See right here, I missed spot in the middle. You don't want to leave that like that. Sometimes you go back in with your spoon and wipe it down a little bit better. So what I'm doing is I'm getting a scoop of beans, put them right there in the middle. A little block of cheese, right there in the middle. 1, 2. Tell me that's not going to be badass boy like that. No, it's not something I planned, guys. This is just, I do this because we have extra masa. I didn't think I was going to have that much extra masa. Alright, let me finish these up. Let me give you guys a sneak peek of the ones I already got going right here. Look at this. You can't see them. There you go. Look at that. Alright guys, it's been about an hour and a half now, so I'm pretty sure they're done now. When they're frozen, it takes 2 hours usually when they're... Look at this. So let's pull one out and let's see, let's give it a taste test. Alright guys, let me take off the paper right here. Let me put you down like this so you can see better. This is what the tamale came looking out like. Let's see what this looks like. See if the masa is even ready, because if the masa sticks to the leaf, then they still need a little bit more. Yeah, they still need just a little bit more. See how the masa is still stuck on the little bit on the corn husk? That means that it's not completely done yet. See that? So I haven't turned them off yet. The masa came out good. Yeah. It's not done. You know, the masa does taste like it's done already. Just it needs like, it's a little soft. I think it's because I took it right out and tried to eat it. But the meat's super good. Yeah, I'm gonna let it cook for another half hour. Then I'm gonna turn them off. Then I'm gonna go take some to my mom so she could try them. Since, you know, this is mom's recipe. I learned this from my mom. It's difficult, guys. It's difficult. I've been out here since this morning. I came out here and just now started knocking them out. But guys, I move fast. I was saying, I move fast, so it's just sometimes, you know, just look at this. Oh yeah, the meat's good. Even the masa's good. It's just a little soft. I think I just need to cook a little bit longer. All right. All right, guys, this is how they came out. What do you guys think? Lisa Marie is about to try one out right now. See how it goes. See what she thinks. Right now, I'm gonna put another pan in full. I'm gonna put in the rest of these and the rest of those bean ones, and I already have these packaged up. We package 8 in a Ziploc and put them in the freezer. And whenever we want to have tamales, we could just put them in the steamer, and you're ready to go again, guys. All right, here's my favorite tester.
What's up, you guys? So I'm here to, oh, it's hot.
Still hot?
Yeah. I'm here to taste test Big Al's first ever tamales. So I'm unwrapping them right now.
Ooh, it came off nice.
We have to let them sit longer than this though, but.
A little bit,
yeah. Al's like excited for me to try it, so. I'm gonna go ahead and unwrap it.
It came out greasy, or is that, I wonder if it's a chile or
it's a chile. It's because the chile had a lot of grease when you put it away. So next time when you put the meat away, just don't take a lot of the juice with it. Because it's all chile. Let's see. Let's cut into this. See, if you guys let them sit a little bit.
It'll be a little bit harder, right?
Yeah.
The masa's are still a little bit
soft. It feels hot right now. But let me try the masa. That's what I'm excited about because I like masa. Good.
Yeah.
Wait. You can try a chile.
Try some of it.
Don't go yet. Look at guys. Look at that. Hot. Red Nation approved.
That's right.
Red Nation approved, babe.
Yeah.
Good job, baby.
All right.
No.
All right, I got the sensei right here. This is a master. Let's see what my mom thinks. My daughter says that she thinks my king stole her tamal to try so she could try out her own tamal.
Yeah, this was already gone. That didn't even last a minute.
No, pero salieron buenos.
Y la carne también, ¿verdad?
También la carne salió bien buena.
¿Cómo salieron, mamá?
Muy buenos.
¿Sí? When you get the okay from the master, that's it.
Los tamales.